Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. This is Ascension Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading, we are doing something a bit different and I'm really excited for it. Today we are going to be looking at an exciting day in your future with absolutely no context of what this day is, how far it is into your future. And especially because this is a general reading, the timing of how far out it'll be will be different for all of you. But essentially what we're going to be doing today is just fast forwarding to a random day and looking at it from both your point of view and third person, kind of my/spirit's point of view. And we're gonna go through your whole day and see together what happens. And then after the day is over and we've kind of gathered what we can from the tarot cards, we are then going to use oracle cards to fill in the blanks, see what we missed about this day or what else you need to know. So I'm really excited to do this reading, and hopefully it isn't a flop and it works well and it makes sense. So we have 4 piles to choose from today. Starting with pile 1, we have the Ascension Tarot as well as this white Aura Quartz, and then for pile 2 we have the Modern Witch Tarot as well as this pink Aura Quartz, and then for pile 3 we have the 5 Cent Tarot as well as some Angel Aura Quartz, and then finally for pile 4 we have the Fairytale Tarot and this piece of Pyrite. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one, depending on how many exciting days Spirit wants you to hear about. You might be drawn to more than one in this reading, and that is absolutely okay. But once you have picked your pile, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comment section where I will have all of the timestamps listed below. There will not be an extended today, so everything is here. So once you've picked your pile, you can go ahead and find your timestamp, and then we will get into your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the white Aura Quartz and the Ascension Tarot, this is going to be a reading on the exciting day in your future. So how we're going to start this is, you know, in the beginning, how you wake up. But I'm leaving all the cards upright, so if any reversals come out, I'm trusting that there's a reason for that. This reading took me a second to kind of put together because I will say the future is never set in stone, but I figured if this is an exciting day that Spirit wants you to know about, then it's pretty much guaranteed to happen. However, details may be fuzzy or different right now. For example, if there are people that are going to be attending this special day or be a part of this day, for example, you may not know them yet. They may not exist yet. So kind of just depends. But what I planned on doing for every single pile is I'm going to use major arcanas to represent you. And then any court cards that come through are going to represent somebody in your life, whether you know them or not yet. Just so that it doesn't get too confusing, because we're jumping forward into a day in your life and we have no context. So we're just going to do our best. Well, I'm going to do my best and you're going to watch. And yeah, I thought it'd be cool just to see, like, you know, if we don't have anything to tell us otherwise, just like what comes through. So let's go ahead and start and see your exciting day in sometime in the future. So Spirit, how is pile 1 waking up on this day? How are they starting this exciting day, please? This pile 1 waking up. Maybe kind of hard to get you up and out of bed today. Or not today, that day. Since no cards want to come out. Maybe you hit snooze a couple times. Relate. Okay, so we're starting with the 2 of Pentacles. So you may, at the very beginning of the day, start wondering if you should hit snooze one more time? Like, can you get away with it? Or do you need to get up? For those of you who have a partner by then, this could also mean that you are not wanting to wake up your partner if they are in bed with you. It's almost kind of like you're weighing your options. You're like, should I get up yet? Or do I have a little bit more time? Let's keep going. Okay, and the Four of Wands. Wow, okay, so no, there's something big is happening today, some type of celebration. So you decide to get out of bed. You're like, all right, I've pushed it as long as I can. At least whatever's going on today is enough motivation for me to keep going. One thing that I note right away is that we have water imagery here. So you could be at the beach, you could be at the lake, you could be near water. You could maybe be on vacation, you could be at a destination for a specific purpose, but it looks like the exciting thing happening today is some type of celebration. So it's either a birthday party, a wedding, whether it's yours or somebody else's. This could also be a gathering of some kind, a joyful gathering of some kind is happening. So Spirit, what kind of joyful gathering is happening today? Eight of Wands. Okay, so this could be celebrating something like a graduation. You could be celebrating a move. You could be you're celebrating a change of some sort. So like I said, that could definitely be a wedding. With the 4 moving up to the 8, maybe you're celebrating with somebody. So a wedding would once again make sense. Another thing that would make sense is if you are celebrating for like birthdays, or maybe you and somebody else are moving. But it seems like you're in a huge hurry. It's almost like you can't even think about what's going on, but it does seem like you're traveling to this. So it doesn't seem like you're hosting this event. It seems like somebody else is, and you're kind of in a hurry. You know you've got a lot to do. Maybe you did oversleep, and now you're like, I got to get going. So whatever this event is, you're incredibly excited for it. There's a lot going into it, and you're kind of in a hurry. You're rushing around. So what happens next, Spirit? What happens next? Wow, okay, so we have the Hierophant. So this is a very, very, very specific message, but for some of you, this could be a student of yours that you're like, for some, this could be like a student of yours that you're attending an important event for. For others, I now feel like I have to take away the rules that I set. I shouldn't set rules when it comes to tarot. There's no rules when it comes to tarot, so I may need to take that back. If this is a wedding, I do see that maybe you might need to call, like if there's somebody officiating it, or if you have like a mentor or a planner, a party planner, for example, you may need to call them. Or there are traditional ways of going about today that you need to do. So this could be a really holy day, for example. I just heard Ramadan. So this could be like a Ramadan day of celebration. Well, I know Ramadan lasts the entire month, so isn't there a celebration at the end of the month that like, is that Eid? I could be wrong. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. But yeah, because I know Ramadan lasts a lot longer. So this could be like the last day of Ramadan, or maybe the first day of Ramadan. This could be like a special holiday, like for some of you, it could be like a Christmas tradition. It could be Passover is another thing I just heard. Let's keep going though. You could also be helping others. So for example, if you are, well, it seems like you're traveling to this event in some way, whether it's walking. I see a lot of bird imagery, so you could had to fly to a location for this event. It definitely seems like it seems like you didn't wake up at home. And if you did wake up at home, you're waking up early because you have to travel to this event. Now, with this teacher card here, I feel like you could be dealing with people calling you, asking you where they need to go. If there is a religious figure involved, you could be reaching out to them, or they could be reaching out to you, letting you know like what your expectations are for that day. But for others, I almost feel like this is a very significant day for you because you're helping others. You're either helping others or watching others succeed in something that you've already done. So for example, you could be a teacher and you're heading to a graduation of your students or something like that. But let's keep going. Let's see what else. What's happening next after this Hierophant, please? And by the way, once we fill up a full row, I'm going to take that as like, okay, that's what's going on in the morning. And okay, yep. So okay, Three of Cups. So your friends are definitely involved here. For some of you, you could be, this is so funny. So there may be like strict influences on this day, and so you and your friends may sneak away to grab some drinks, do something else if it's about celebrating. I just heard getting lit in the lounge. So like for some of you, maybe you are a teacher or something like that. But it kind of seems like there's a traditional influence surrounding this day in some way. But you're meeting up with your friends. So, or maybe you go, like for example, when you're traveling, you go the traditional way or the traditional route to get where you need to go, and you're meeting up with your friends now. So this is a joyful day. There's definitely a lot of loved ones around. There's definitely a spiritual influence to this day. And it seems like you're already celebrating whatever this instance is. Okay, I just heard something from Spirit. So for some of you, this is a wedding. Whether it's yours or somebody that you really care about. And it seems like the wedding is going to be earlier in the day, if that's the case. Like you're waking up and getting ready and you're in a hurry. So for those of you who are in the wedding, for example, or it's your wedding, you may be, talking to the officiant, you may be around your friends celebrating. It definitely seems like you're kind of getting the important things you need to get done first, the things that you're still not clear about, because when we see here, the energy of this card is very different. So it's like you have to do these like kind of official shit, you got to get all that done, and now you're like, okay, this is going to be a great day, let's celebrate. So how is pile 2 finishing off the morning, Spirit? We have the Page of Wands. So you're either going on an adventure of some kind, but I said this would be people. So a child or somebody that's very playful is involved here. This Page of Wands could represent one of your friends. They may suggest that you do something really fun. This is fire energy. So either you're going on an adventure now. So for some of you, maybe you're just going straight to the honeymoon. Like this could be a reception. Or one thing that I'm hearing from Spirit is maybe you're literally just juggling everything that you need to get done all day. The wedding happens or whatever it may be. Fast forward. So like, for example, if you're already married, this could be the wedding of your best friend. This could be the wedding of one of your siblings. This could be the wedding of one of your children. If you already have a child, you may go off and do something with them. Or a younger family member could come in and ask for you to hang out with them, to do something fun with them. But it seems like you're finishing off your morning with the intention of going on some kind of adventure. And this is interesting that this is all happening in the morning. Like, you get lit in the morning, like we're doing a lot. But because I already said that we're not going to do that anymore because this isn't helpful, this Page of Wands could also indicate that maybe you're having some fun, blowing off some steam. So for example, let's say the big event isn't until later and you're and during the morning you're just kind of getting things ready. It's possible that you could decide that you want to kind of sneak away for a bit and do something fun. Or for example, if you're on the beach or something, You may go off and do your own thing for a second, or just kind of take a second to decompress. Like, for example, if you're going to lunch, you may be trying some new place that you've heard about, or if you're in a place that you've never been before, you might just go in search of whatever might be there. But let's go ahead and see what's going on in the afternoon now. Okay. So yeah, we have the Nine of Wands now. So you're getting kind of tired. There might be some difficulties. So for example, maybe somebody's upset about something, or you have a hard time finding a good lunch or dinner. It kind of seems like maybe you didn't caffeinate yourself well enough today, or you're just getting kind of tired. It's possible that something about this event, like this event could make you emotional in some way. And I don't mean emotional in like a bad way, but I mean like it might make you sentimental. It might make you you might be the type of person who doesn't really like to show their emotions like that. And I think if that's the case, then in this afternoon, you might have been doing well during the day, kind of holding your emotions back. And now you're kind of like, oh, I need to take a second to myself to just kind of let all these emotions out, but you don't want anyone to see you. So you may just kind of go off on your own to find a space where you can kind of just release all that emotion, because the progression from the Four of Wands to the Eight of Wands, so like, for example, this could definitely be your wedding, and the way that I'm seeing it play out is, even so, like, for example, one thing that I'm hearing from Spirit, if this is your wedding, then one thing that if you even want to get married, you could be juggling everything that you need to be doing during the day. The wedding happens, it's like you can't focus on anything until that happens, and now everything's happening really fast, or like you're getting ready for it, and then it seems like the ceremony and everything just, flies on by. And I think it would make sense, that juxtaposition going from 4 to 8, so there could be another person involved here adding to that 8, and so everything is just speeding on by. So, maybe you're getting married somewhere, your friend's getting married somewhere, somebody that you love is getting married, and you guys rush out of the space, and you kind of get out of that traditional environment, and now it's time to start having fun. And so maybe things kind of catch up to you, and you're like, oh man, this is all so much, this is so emotional. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, now we have Temperance. So there's definitely some sort of substances here. Like, this is definitely a celebration of some kind, so there's definitely going to be alcohol, things like that. So you may give yourself some space to just kind of calm down, and then you take your time coming back to wherever it is that you need to go. I honestly feel like with this Nine of Wands, you took a step out to like take some time to yourself. And with this Temperance card here, I feel like now you're starting to, after getting that emotion out, the truth of what's going on is starting to set in, and you're kind of seeing how today is an important day of transition in some way, which is why you're celebrating. So for some of you, this celebration could be about like a graduation. This celebration could be birthday, whatever kind of celebration it may be. But weddings are definitely a huge celebration type day, and weddings are displayed in the Four of Wands. But with this Temperance card here, I definitely feel like you're mingling at this point. You're not just mingling, because mingling is very like, oh, hi, Loretta, how are you doing? Like, how are your cataracts? Like, this is definitely more of like you connecting with people, like having fun, kind of going a little crazy. So maybe this is your future partner, or maybe your partner is already with you and you guys are celebrating together. You could be dancing together, or maybe you guys walked away to take a walk on the beach maybe. Let's keep going. I want to get 2 more cards actually. Spirit, what can you tell me about this Temperance card? Ooh, okay, so 5 of Wands. Looks like there's some drama. What's going on? And the Knight of Wands. Okay. So it looks like somebody, this is during the afternoon, And I will say too that this could be like, for example, if this celebration isn't until like 2 p.m. and you wake up at 1, because like I'm super guilty of doing stuff like that, for example, then the morning would be the afternoon would be the so on and so forth. You get it. So it looks like somebody is coming in with this Knight of Wands energy. So they could be a fire sign, something like that. Although I'm noticing with the progression from the Page of Wands to the Knight of Wands, this could be an issue that you ignored earlier that's coming back to not necessarily bite you in the butt, but to create conflict. So for example, if somebody needed you and you weren't available, or somebody wanted to speak to you and you weren't available, and they were upset about something, they might be coming in to give their 2 cents. Or for example, this could be like fun fighting. So like, for example, you know those sumo, those like games, like those sumo games that are like blow up inflatables, where you are kind of in this giant suit and you're like, you know, fighting somebody, but it's not like legit fighting, it's like play fighting. So it could be something like that. This does seem like somebody that's very fun, and they can be fiery as well. So you might get in an argument with somebody that maybe you ignored them earlier and they're coming around now. I would say if it's like your wedding or something like that, this is probably not somebody that you're too close to. This is probably somebody on like another side or something like that who is experiencing conflict of some type. One thing that I do know is that whatever this conflict is, it's not that important. It's only important to this person. And it kind of seems like they're either doing it because they're bored or they want to stir something up. So what else can you tell us about this spirit, this fight of some type? Wow, okay, so the 2 of Cups. So it seems like so whatever this event is, the person that you love will be kind of taking you away from this or diffusing the situation so that this person kind of fucks off, if I'm being honest. Because with this Knight of Wands card here, I feel like this person doesn't have the best intentions. And I almost feel like for some of you, this could be a difficult sibling or somebody that, a difficult sibling of somebody else's. It's almost like somebody who maybe posed an issue to you that you didn't think was important earlier, or like you just didn't have time to deal with it. And now they're coming up to you and being like, and having an issue with it. So with this 2 of Cups here, or I will say this could be your person. So maybe you guys have a conflict about where you're going next or what you're doing or how you want to finish out the night or something like that. But if that's the case, you guys make up very quickly and it's not a big deal. You find a solution, you move on. But if this conflict is dealing with somebody outside of a romantic interest or partner, I would say that definitely this is from somebody outside of that who is upset. Like, and the vibe that I get is that they're upset about something really dumb. Like, the caterer doesn't have like gluten-free nachos or something, and it's like, yeah, well, we built an entire gluten-free menu for you. Unfortunately, the nachos were not like, you know what I mean? It just kind of seems something like that. But from what I can tell here, it's like you and the people that you care about are like vibing and having a good time, and somebody comes in to have a problem, and either you or both you and your romantic interest diffuse it or change it. So how do they finish off the afternoon, Spirit? With the Ace of Pentacles. So it seems like you either have the opportunity to go somewhere. Let me fix that. Actually, I'm going to take a sip of water while I think about this. So with the Ace of Pentacles coming out now, it seems like this is either part of your plan for today. So you're either going somewhere where you plan to go, or you could be opening gifts, actually. You could be receiving a gift from somebody. You could be opening gifts in general. Let's get like one clarifier with this Ace of Pentacles. Okay, thank you. Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so this is actually pretty big, because you could be getting a gift from somebody who is very well off and independent. But the Nine of Pentacles card also talks about independence and like being single. So maybe this is somebody else's wedding and somebody is coming forward. It doesn't have to be a wedding. I keep saying wedding, so there must be. I should mention, like, I had a family member who got married this weekend, so wedding is just fresh on the brain. I'm not even going to say that's for everybody. I'm just saying, like, I'm flawed and human, and, like, that's something that could be happening. But you could be receiving some type of offer from someone else, someone that you have feelings for. But if this is like a party or something, I think you're receiving a pretty awesome gift or opportunity from somebody who's really well off and really abundant and stable. So this is an exciting opportunity from what I can see. So for some of you, this is somebody else's event that you're at, and somebody is coming through to offer you something important, and that might be the most exciting part of the day, actually. So how is pile one finishing this day off? The High Priestess. Okay. So this day is huge in a lot of ways. Like, it definitely seems like if this isn't an event that's happening directly to you, so for example, a party celebrating you, your wedding, or your graduation, or your celebration, then this is the celebration of somebody very close to you that you care about, and you're there to support them and also to see other people that that you care about. And what's kind of interesting is, like, with this Page of Wands here, it's possible you could kind of stray away from the event for a little bit just to kind of gather your bearings and then come back when you feel better, because for some reason it kind of seems like for a second there you have a problem being present with everyone. And I don't think it's because you have an issue being present. I think it's just because whatever is happening today, there is an abundance of emotions and a lot of overwhelming energy. There's tons of fire energy here. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, nobody has to have those placements, but fire energy is very passionate, it's very exciting, and this definitely seems like a day that's very temporary. So, like, this is the only day this is going to be happening. And after you get this offer of some kind, whether it's an offer, whether it's a gift, whether it's something that came out of nowhere, like, you're going to have a huge realization. And the thing is, though, your first huge realization is not this offer. You're going to have many throughout the day. It's going to be kind of like things that you've seen before are going to confirm what you're feeling. And I think by the end of the day, you're just going to have tons of perception shifts that are going to make you feel stronger and trusting your intuition. I also think that you're going to be very reflective during this day and looking back and thinking about how far you've come and how much has happened. So what else, Spirit? How is pile one finishing off this day? Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands. So towards the end of the day, you might be feeling a bit defensive. Maybe it's just because you're exhausted or you drank a bit. People might want your services, or like, for example, if you are an intuitive person, you might have like drunk people coming up to you asking you to like help them in some way, or asking you to read them if you're an intuitive or something like that. For others, somebody might be feeling like attacked by you, and it's not your fault. Like, you might say like, oh, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen, or I knew XYZ was going to happen. And people are feeling kind of bitter about you being correct about that, interestingly. But like, one thing that I'm seeing here with this Seven of Wands is that there might be something really irritating, like maybe it takes forever to get a car to where you need to go, or maybe you have to fight to find somewhere to eat, or you have to like go out of your way to find something that you need. It's kind of an interesting energy. And one thing that I'm hearing too is that you might, towards the end of the day, deal with some kind of psychic attack that causes you to kind of pull back from the entire event, from all of what's going on here. and take care of yourself and fight back from this energy. Because for some of you, I'm getting that you might be very energetically sensitive, and it seems like for whatever reason you already like didn't get enough sleep that day, or your batteries are running out. Like I can feel kind of exhaustion right now, and you're like, okay, I'm done. Like nothing feels, things that wouldn't normally bother you are starting to feel like a personal attack, and you're intuitive enough to know that that's not real. It's just you're becoming overwhelmed, and so it's like you kind of take yourself out of it. So let's see what else, Spirit. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles. So somebody is coming through. This is definitely a male of some kind. This could either be your father, someone else's father. This could be a father, grandfather. This could be the person that you got married to. This could be your partner. Whoever this King of Pentacles is, for any help, they could have Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo placements. They don't have to, though. This is definitely somebody more solid and trustworthy, practical, grounded, usually financially well off. They're kind of like a what you see is what you get kind of type person. And it's quite possible they could have given you some type of gift. They could have been the one to give you some sort of gift, but I do think that this is somebody who's looking out for you. So they might be able to tell that you're getting a bit overwhelmed, or that you're kind of ready to, like the way I'm breathing right now, like you're ready, like you need some space, you need some time to yourself. So what is this King of Pentacles doing, Spirit? Knight of Swords. Okay, so they're giving you a good, so they're talking to you, so they're help talking you through this. Whatever the case may be, it's like they're communicating with you, whether it's through text or somewhere else. They might just be letting you know that the day went really well, or that they hope that you're doing okay, but they're communicating to you in some way. They're talking to you, which is interesting for the King of Pentacles to come through with the Knight of Swords. It seems like what they're telling you is something really special and really impactful, and like something that you weren't anticipating. So the whoa, what's this? 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. Wow. Okay, first of all, I shuffled these really well, so I don't want to see anyone in the comments being like, like, yes, I did. You weren't here. If you have a problem, come here and shuffle my damn cards then. Okay, anyway. I know exactly what this is about. This was meant to fall out this way. So during this time, your energy might be a little off. Your energy might get a little funky. And so what this King of Pentacles is coming to talk to you about, this is somebody that can give it to you straight, and they're going to tell you to get out of your head, because for whatever reason, something caused you to get into your head, and I think it's something intuitively, and they're literally going to tell you get out of your head and stay present. So with the 7 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords, it's literally like the only, like, you are in it almost seems like you're kind of in control of how much you enjoy this day. And I think this person might say, this person either may come through to reassure you that today went really well, or that everyone had a good time, or that things went really well, or they're coming through to tell you to get out of your own head and to stop pushing people out. And this might be a response that you have when you just get really tired, or you're just kind of over it. But it kind of seems like this person that you respect a lot is coming in to be like, hey, get out of your head, cut it out. Like, you don't need this. But I'm actually going to leave these down here, and I'm going to shuffle just one more time. So, Spirit, how is pile 1 finishing off today, please? Okay, we have the Star. So this is awesome. You're finishing off with a lot of hope. And I think that you've gotten over whatever was irritating you. I think that at this point you're able to kind of detach from all the emotions, from the emotions of the day. And you're kind of in this energy of like, okay, well, at the end of the day, these really beautiful things happened. I'm really grateful for this. And you're kind of seeing the important messages, the important things that you needed to know. And then we have the 7 of Swords. So it's kind of like you sneak away towards the end of the night. So like towards the end of the night, you're in a good place and you're like, okay, I'm getting the heck out of here. And it's kind of like either you don't really say goodbyes to people and you just kind of like go off and do your own thing, or you're just kind of like ready to be done. You're like, all right, I'm done like socializing, I'm done doing anything, like I'm ready to go home. It's like you've seen what you need to see, and now you're done. Like you're focused on you. You're like, I'm getting out of here. So seeing how the overall events of the day, we're going to use the back of the deck energy just to kind of summarize everything that we've seen. And on the back of the deck energy, we have the Page of Swords. And what is underneath that? The Three of Wands. So this is all about expansion. And I think the biggest thing about this day, for some of you, interestingly enough, there may be like, depending on how you're related to this King of Pentacles. If this King of Pentacles is a romantic partner of some kind, this exciting day could lead to a conception of some kind. So I would say be careful, but depending on how far in the future this is, part of this exciting day could literally be that it leads to another exciting day. So that could mean like you are someone is going to be conceived from this day, if that's something that you want in your future. Or for example, this could be just a learning experience. Like I think that for some of you, you may be starting anew. So for some of you, like this is a graduation, for example, where you've had a graduation party and everything's so excited and you're hopeful for the future, but maybe you're worried at the end of the night about what people are going to think about what you're doing, about your future. Or you're thinking about the fact that it's kind of like everything that you've come to, everything that you've learned up until this point, it's like now you're the student again. It's like the teacher is once again the student. So for example, which is interesting that we have those two. So for example, if this is a wedding, it's like now, for example, if you're marrying somebody, now you're the student on how do I navigate life with a person I'm legally tied to. It's like back to the drawing board. You're learning again. For others, it is like that graduation. It's like, okay, you've graduated from high school, you've graduated from undergrad, you've graduated from your master's, and now it's time to get your bachelor's or your master's or your PhD. And so it's like you're a student again, and it's like, great, I'm once again a student, or something like that. I feel like you just kind of like at the end of the night after, I feel like you probably talked to a lot of people, you probably communicated with a lot of people. This argument earlier in the day may have left you kind of like feeling defensive, and so you may have not really opened up to people after that. But if you left in sort of an abrupt way, this King of Pentacles may like call you and just give you some words of advice, some words of wisdom, some words of love, to help you see the silver lining. But I definitely feel like you're finishing off the day like I'm not, like I've had enough social interaction for one day, I'm ready for bed. Or if like, for example, if there's another special person involved, it's like you both are sneaking away and sneaking off to bed. So wow, okay, overall, this seems to be a very eventful day, no matter what's happening. What we can say for sure is that this is a celebration of some kind that that involves a lot of prep or a lot of work. Travel may be involved in some way, and this does seem to have an element of tradition within it. There's a lot of loved ones around you. Definitely substances of some kind, because there's partying going on here. It could also be that somebody not even like related to you, somebody hot-headed gets in a fight with someone else and it distracts everyone. But it seems like they do at the very least make up, or that problem is fixed, because we go back to that Two of Cups energy. I feel like by the end of the day though, you're kind of like, wow, like I always pictured how this day would go, or I never anticipated it would be like this. Or there's a lot of things about your intuition and learning about to trust your intuition. You're going to realize, you're going to be really happy that you trusted yourself as much as you did. And with the star here, I think you're just going to be really hopeful for the future and care less about what others think about your future. So this is really beautiful. So let's go ahead and look at all of your oracles now and see what Spirit can tell us about this day, because as you can see, I'm like, what is all this? So I guess we'll start with these. So to start, we have soul healing. This is the star soul chakra. So this is like one above your crown. I like to call it the mega crown chakra. We also have awakening. Oh, I love how similar those go together. So we have soul healing, awakening, we have victory, and we have door to value. Wow, okay, a lot going on here. This is going to represent you on this day. So we have the stingray. This is actually really good. And we also have Aqua's trust partnership. So definitely for a lot of you, this could be your wedding, or the wedding of someone very special and your partner is already there. We have Gemini energy here. Let's see what else. We have scry mirror. Okay, wow. We also have I release what does not serve me. We also have trust. So we've got trust coming out twice. So whatever this is, it takes a lot of trust to do this. And on the back of the deck, we don't have a back of the deck, and we have gossip. Okay, so I would definitely say, like I was saying before, this definitely feels like a wedding of some type, or an important celebration, an important event that helps you get closer to your partner if you're already married, or brings a lot of success. Because, so for example, you could, maybe the exciting part is not the celebration, is not the wedding. Maybe the exciting part is interacting with somebody who gives you and your partner some type of business opportunity, or who gives you some type of opportunity to grow. What I'm seeing here with this stingray is that this day you are not putting up with bullshit. Like you have a spine, and like the stingray card talks all about having a spine. For some of you, you could work in like the medical field, because this little thing kind of reminds me of like a caduceus. But during this day, not only are you feeling successful, not only does the day go well, but you're opening yourself up to a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough. And with this awakening and soul healing card, it's like this is a very impactful day for you on all levels: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I don't know what you would call fire, passionate. It's not a word. But you're seeing yourself in a lot of people today. I also think that with this scry mirror here, it's like this day is clouded in a lot of shock. It's clouded in a lot of like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I've gotten to this point. I can't believe this is where I've ended up. This is kind of crazy. With this awakening card here, not only are you awakening to a new way of life, but you're awakening to so many more possibilities. Your soul is waking up in another way, and this is also healing your soul. So like, for example, you could be marrying a soulmate or healing a soulmate connection this day. It definitely seems like this is something, it feels like completion in a lot of ways, and it feels like you are checking off something on your list that is really important. So this is definitely, this day is going to bring people together, and I definitely agree with this I release what doesn't serve me. So I do think that there are going to be events throughout this day that force you to be stronger than you, or if I shouldn't say stronger, I'll say more firm. It's forcing you to be more firm with yourself and with others, because you're not wanting to deal with the bullshit. Because with this gossip card here, I do feel like there are a couple people around who could just be more negative, or party poopers, or they're just bringing things down. And I feel like it's up to you to kind of like either separate yourselves from them, not let them, not worry about it, or to view them from a heart-centered place and recognize like they can be bitter Bettys all they want, but like you're not going to let that touch you. I think one thing also is that you may feel like you may find out about gossip that happens during the day, and that might make you feel like, okay, well, I know now that I need to cut some people out of my life. Some people may have broken your trust this day and like not treated you the way that you were hoping to. But with all of this trust here, I feel like something significant is happening. You're taking a leap of faith or some kind. Whatever this event is, it requires a lot of trust, not only from you, but from anybody else involved. So I definitely think this day is going to be very, very exciting for you. And with this door to value, I think that not only is this an exciting day, but it's a day that leads to a lot more financial gain and a lot more opportunities to experience abundance and be more abundant. So, like, for example, one vibe that I'm getting is you may get like if this isn't your wedding, for example, you could be going to somebody's wedding where you get a really important job opportunity and you're awakened to like, wow, if I hadn't gone to this event, if I hadn't gone out of my way to do this thing, I may have never gotten this opportunity, or I would have never gotten this opportunity. And so that awakens you to realize that you need to trust your soul more, and it helps you heal your relationship with yourself because you realize, oh wow, I really can trust myself to get me where I need to go, because I know that I'll be, not only will I be victorious, but that I can attract the opportunities that I want. But there's a lot of gold in this spread. Like there's you know, a lot of gold imagery here. There's a lot about healing, and so I feel like this is definitely a day that you're going to look back on with really fond memories, and you're going to look back on and be like, wow, I can't believe that all that happened. I can't believe that, like, you know, there's going to be a lot that you're like reflecting on when it comes to this day. And I think it depends on the level of intensity. Like, for example, you're definitely going to remember this this day a lot stronger if it's your wedding than if it's someone else's wedding, for example. I mean, for some of you, it could be the wedding of your child or the wedding of somebody that you really care about. But I do think that no matter what, this day requires a significant amount of trust in yourself and trust in the people around you for everything to work the way that it's meant to. So pile 1, this is what I got for you guys. Like I said, this is definitely an experimental reading, so I apologize if it wasn't as detailed as you would have liked. In terms of like advice, I trusted Spirit on this one to not worry about it, because this is an event that is meant to happen and you will get there naturally. So there's no point in worrying about it, because you're gonna get there. Like, and you don't need to worry about when, you just need to keep doing you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. So if you don't have a way to support me, that is the easiest way. If you want to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. For some of you, it may not resonate very much because you're just not at that point in your life yet, but I would definitely save this video, and you know, it might be a long time before this day comes, but hopefully you'll come back to this video after this day happens and see how accurate it is. It clearly seems to be, especially with this star soul chakra coming here, it definitely seems to be something divinely guided, something that is meant to happen, something that source and spirit is working on, and that is meant for your own healing and growth. But if you want to support me in other ways, you can check out my merch, or you can check out my social medias. All the links for that will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was accurate, or it seemed accurate. Yeah, this was definitely a bit of a different video, so I hope at the very least, even if it didn't resonate, you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching and letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. If you guys chose the pink Aura Quartz and the Modern Witch Tarot, this is going to be your reading on an exciting day in your future. So after doing Pile 1, I had some like kind of ground rules, but I'm throwing them out the window because they weren't effective or useful. So what we are going to be doing is just starting with you waking up and then going throughout the whole day. The kind of crappy thing is, because it is in the future, I'm not able to be as specific as I would be if I was talking about an exciting day in your past, but that's okay. So I have all the cards upright, and I'm gonna leave them that way because if any are meant to be in reverse, Spirit will show me as we're shuffling. So I haven't looked at the oracles or anything like that, but we'll essentially use the oracles after we go through your day and see what information they can fill in for us and what information they can confirm and things like that. So let's go ahead and start with how you're waking up today. So that day. So Spirit, on this exciting day in pile two's future, how are they waking up? Wow, okay, so you're definitely being woken up by somebody that you love and care about a lot. Y'all are naked. I don't mean to be like creepy. If you're asexual, then I would say that the details of what's going on is going to be probably a bit different, but nonetheless, you're still with somebody that you care about, care about very deeply, and at the very least have feelings for. If you're aromantic, then you have feelings of some kind. Otherwise, I would definitely say that this is somebody you're being woken up with some morning sex or like something like that. You're definitely cuffed, I will say that much, and you're being woken up by your partner. I would assume this is consensual. That or you're dreaming about them. So let's go ahead and see what happens next. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. So it definitely seems like either you or your partner, y'all are doing just fine. And then I think as you're getting up or after that is over, either you or your person is kind of whispering sweet nothings to you or saying really sweet things to you, saying really wonderful things to you, and just telling you how much they care about you, how much they love you. They may also tell you about the dream that they had about you last night. So, and one thing I will say, like, for example, with this being the Queen of Cups, let's say, for example, you identify as a female and your partner is also a female. So this could be either you or them. If there's no women involved here, then I would say somebody with a more feminine energy is the one talking about this. For some, I don't think this is the case, but it's a possibility. For some, somebody that you care about, like, for example, a family member might be knocking on your door wondering what's going on, or might be asking for you, but I see that as a lot less likely. And honestly, this could be just the both of you going back and forth and talking about your feelings. It could also just be that, like, you're talking to them about like the dream you had about them last night. For some of you, it could be that you had a dream about them and then woke up being in this Queen of Cups energy. But the biggest vibe that I get for the both of you is that you are waking up with another human being in your bed that you have a lot of feelings for, that you either love or are dating somebody that you really, really care about. So what's happening next, Spirit? Okay. Spirit wants me to take both of these. So, Seven of Cups. You know what I just heard? Ferb, I know what we're going to do today. The Six of Wands. So, on this day, I think you two have a free day. You have a free day. You can do anything that you want. But I think that you and your person want to do something fun, want to do something exciting. Maybe you wake up in clouds of confusion, or you're like, oh, I don't know what we should do today, or like, I don't know what's going on. But it kind of seems like you either somebody's decision wins, or you both come to an agreement that no matter what you're doing, you want to do something fun and exciting, something that either both of you are good at. I just heard axe throwing. If you're good at axe throwing, I mean, hit me up. I need security, but like, I'm just kidding. But it kind of seems like maybe you both have certain plans or certain ideas of how to start the day, or what you want to do. You might you might like debate about what you want to have for breakfast and come up with a good solution. Let's keep going. What's happening here? Okay, how does this want to fall? Okay, so it says reverse. So Justice in reverse. Okay, so somebody Can you clarify this, Spirit? So the situation isn't balanced. So there's some confusion here. Like, you have options of what you can do today. And somebody wins. And the other person is like, like, that's not fair. Like, like, it feels like there's some sort of injustice. Why? Why is there an injustice here, Spirit? Oh, Spirit's like, I'll tell you. 8 of Swords. Okay. So it kind of seems like one of you gets to choose because the other one is too afraid to speak up. The other one is too afraid to say something. Or somebody is like really worried about something. They can't, like, maybe you feel like there's an injustice here, or you're feeling like, or maybe you're just worried about what you guys are planning on doing, but you're too afraid to say anything. And so you're just kind of allowing things to happen, even though maybe you don't want this to happen, or your partner doesn't want this to happen. So you could be confused and do something to like make a decision. And then maybe your partner is like, oh no, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is equal. But there could be something to do. For example, there could be a legal situation that hasn't sorted itself out. So like, I'm not going to give examples because I'm not really good at like legal shit. But what I will say is like, maybe you both are planning to do something fun today because maybe there has been a really shitty injustice in your future's past, which is kind of weird to say. It's kind of an oxymoron, but you might be worried about that. And maybe this is your partner's solution to like getting you kind of out of your head and helping you have some fun. Or maybe you and your partner are choosing to spend time today because you haven't been able to make that time yet. So we're leaving the morning. Let's go into the afternoon now. So Spirit, what's happening next? Because when you know pile 1 is still with their pile 1, pile 2 is still with their partner. We have the World. Okay. So something big is happening. This is either a graduation. There could be some traveling happening. You got to clarify this card for me, Spirit. What is... Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't. This is so cute. This is so cute. Oh my God. Okay. Somebody that you care about a whole lot. Oh my God, I feel bad. I hope nobody's watching this and they're seeing it soon. I hope this is really far in your future because I really don't want to blow this for anyone. But something that's actually, then again, I think that this is something a long time coming. Somebody is going to be popping a question that you have been waiting for a very, very, very long time. And I think that it's actually, depending on who is doing the proposing and who is not, that is who is feeling this energy. This 8 of Swords, Justice in reverse energy, because they're very nervous, they're very worried. So this doesn't have to be right in the afternoon, but it does seem like the plan is this is happening today. This person is fixed on it. So whether it's you making a proposal to someone or this person making a proposal to you. So this doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but I will say it's likely that this is somebody either proposing that you both start dating or that you both become an item. This could be they're proposing that you two move in together, or maybe somebody has to move to a different place and they're asking if you will come with them. For others, this could be literally like proposing marriage with this Justice in reverse. They could be very afraid of that. But it definitely seems like somebody is doing some proposing here, and it seems like it's been a long time coming. I definitely think that whoever this person is, whether you know who they are or not, this is somebody who is going to be, your relationship with them is going to be very stable and steady. So for example, like if you're thinking about somebody, I hate to say this, but like if you're thinking about somebody, like you want somebody to propose to you and you're in a tumultuous, crazy connection with them where you don't feel safe, you don't feel supported, I don't think that is this person. This is definitely somebody that you feel safe with, that you know in your heart is like, this is my person. I mean, the Lovers came out first, and so Spirit was like, and Archangel Raphael is in here. And so Archangel Raphael is not going to send someone your way that does not make your heart happy and fulfilled. And it's quite clear here. One very interesting difference about this Queen of Cups versus most Queen of Cups is that they usually have a lid on their cup. And this cup doesn't have a lid. And so now I'm just thinking of Patrick when SpongeBob is like, the lid, no, the lid, Patrick, the lid, and he's touching everything but the lid. Anyway, I definitely think that this is somebody that you have developed feelings for naturally over time. Even if there were strong feelings in the beginning, this person is definitely somebody consistent. This is somebody that you feel safe with. This is somebody that you trust. And this person may like ask you, they may be like, oh, I want to do this today. And you might be like, why do you want to do that? Like, that's so weird. Oh my gosh. And somebody is surprised with that Judgment card. They are like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe this is happening. That card wants to come out as well. So with this Judgment card here, there is like an oh my gosh moment. Like, I can't believe this is happening. And with this Queen of Pentacles now, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So I definitely think that after this happens, you're going to be calling everybody that you know. So, well, I guess depending on how exciting it is. And I would say this is really exciting for some of you. Like, I almost want to start crying. Like, this is definitely a very special moment, a very special day. And I would say the first person that you call is your mom or somebody who is like a mom to you. It could be like a dad or something like that, but definitely a parent that cares about you a lot. I definitely think that you're going to be announcing this to people. How soon, I don't know, but we have another Archangel here, Archangel Gabriel, and the Judgment card. And I think that with this Judgment card here, it's like, you have this intense moment of like, wow, my life is never going to be the same. But at the same time, you're so excited. And I definitely think that for some of you, this person could do it around people. So one specific message that I'm getting is like, if you know that if you're with somebody, or in the future, if you're with somebody, and you think that they are going to be that person for you, or you think that this is who you're meant to be with, make sure they know. Well, that is if you believe that you're going to be the one that's proposed to, of course. We can't make assumptions about that. Or if you're the one proposing on both ends, make sure you both know what your partner is comfortable with. Because I will say, there is nothing more horrifying, at least to me, than somebody like proposing to me in front of a bunch of people. Because like, that sounds really stressful, right? But that's what some people love, and that's what some people want. And so in your case, it looks like as of right now, this person is going to be proposing in some sort of public area. And so if that's something that you want, it's on the cards. But if that's something where you're like, that sounds like so much pressure, that's something that I don't want, then Spirit is saying whenever this person comes into your life, whether they're already in your life, whatever the case may be, make sure they know what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable. Because I just like, I would feel for anybody who was in this situation. And it's like, even if you have no issues about proposing, or issues about being proposed to, like when it comes to the person, it just may be more comfortable, for example, for it to be done a certain way. So I think one thing that Spirit is saying is, if there's anything about this situation that would make you uncomfortable, or an environment that you wouldn't want to be in, just make a mental note for the future. Because for some of you, this is years out. For others, this could be somebody that you're currently dating. I don't want to ruin any sort of surprise, but I would say that if Spirit brought you to this reading, it's probably because it's a long time coming and you already know it's going to happen in some way. So what happens next then, Spirit? Okay, this is sideways. How does it want to go? Okay, I think it wants to go up, right? So we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so you're definitely keeping it a secret from some people. You're not telling everybody. So maybe you hold back on social media. Maybe you go to call like a family member, somebody that you care about, but you're not telling everyone at first. Okay, so what happens next, Spirit? Okay, so we've got the Nine of Wands. So you're traveling somewhere else now. So we got to see where you're going. So where are they going? Eight of Cups. Wow, okay. So this is definitely something where, oh my God. For some of you, this could be a rejection. If it's a rejection, it's you rejecting this person. You might not be ready to give them everything. However, I don't think that's the case for most of you. This is definitely somebody that you love a lot. Like, you know what it is? I know what it is. So this moment for you is going to be incredibly impactful. And I think one thing that you're going to understand is why Spirit held back from letting shittier people come through. It's like in this moment, you'll be closing the door on a lot of emotional experiences that maybe you didn't get closure from, or that maybe you didn't quite understand. Because at this point, you're going to be like, fuck it. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm ready to walk away from this. And for some of you, you could spend the day like celebrating. And then by the time night rolls around, you guys are walking away from this place knowing that it's going to be a special place to the both of you for the rest of your life. Like it's a place where this person asked you if you wanted to date them. It's this place where this person asked if you wanted to be with them. And for some, this person could be asking if you want to travel with them. And I think if that's the case, you maybe weren't telling them before, you were kind of holding back, but now you're saying like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Maybe also at this point in time, you might be worried about your finances in some way, or you might be saving money. But I don't think that that's really what has to do with this. I just think that you're kind of holding this information back from a lot of people. In fact, there may be somebody else in the picture, like somebody that was interested in you, or somebody that you had an on and off thing with. And I think after this day, you're going to know that you're ready to move on from them. Like, you're ready to move on from your past. You're ready to move on from anybody who doesn't make you feel like this. Like, you're over it. You're done. So what happens next, Spirit? Okay. We have the Ace of Wands. Didn't want to come out because it did a spinny thing. So I think, to be fair, we'll see which way this Ace of Wands wants to go. So you want to be, okay. Ace of Wands wants to be reversed. So by this point, I think you're getting a little exhausted. This day has been really exciting. You've had a lot, like, I mean, it started really exciting. Let's be real here. And the day itself just continued to become more exciting. So now I think you're starting to get tired. You're starting to get worn out. I definitely think by this point, you're not on social media or anything like that. I don't think you're sharing it with anyone either, but you might be planning in your head, like, how you're going to announce this thing, or planning in your head what the next step is. Your partner might be instigating something that you're like, I'm too tired for it. Like, we did an excellent job together earlier. Let's see. Let's get some more information. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, listen, we got counterpart energy here. This is so sweet. So maybe this King of Cups could be the person that you are, ascending to a higher level of commitment with. I think that would be very likely because we have this Queen of Cups showing up. So I definitely think you both are like, definitely think that's the both of you, deep feelings here, and would further make sense that this is somebody who is a family member of yours that loves you a whole lot. But what it looks like is, even if you tell this person, because it seems like this is your person, because we're just going to pretend like that it's you. It does seem like this person is not offended in any means if you like reject them in the sense of like, oh, okay, like, I'm really tired or something like that. I think that you and this person are both tired. You both are ready to like go home. Both are ready to wind down. And I think that you both are going home with this knowing and this understanding that, like, you're going to be doing life with somebody soon, or that you and this person are going to be growing a lot closer. And I think there's a lot of comfort in this idea that you and them have a lot of love for one another. You have a lot of respect and admiration for one another. So what's happening next then? What's happening with this King and Queen of Cups? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you both are acknowledging that the single life is no longer for either of you, and that independence is gone. Now, that doesn't mean completely gone. Like, obviously, you both are going to be healthy, but hopefully you're going to be healthy about it. But I think there's this recognition of, like, wow, we're kind of done being single, at least for now. We're done. Like, that independent life. I just gotta peep the Ace of Cups there. But how are they going to bed, Spirit? Oh, the Hanged One. You're going to bed with a much different perspective. And the Five of Pentacles. Wow. So with the Hanged One and the Five of Pentacles finishing your day off, it's quite possible you're going to bed cold or chilly. I don't think this Five of Pentacles is something bad, but with this Hanged One in reverse, I think in reverse, it's upright. With this Hanged One being here, you're going to bed with a much different perspective than you woke up in. Like, it's like your world is being turned upside down, but in a very positive way. In fact, it's like you're looking at a lot of situations differently. You're looking, especially your past influences. So with this Five of Pentacles here, I think one thing that you're realizing is why everything else had to fail in order for this to happen. I think you're going to realize the fact that these came out one after the other. It's like you're realizing that this is the last night that you're going to bed. Or no, this is the first night. Last night. Then the future last night that was before then got you to the point where you're like, oh, wow. I understand now why nobody else was right. I understand now why nobody could have been that person for me. Like, I understand why other people made me feel left out in the cold. I understand why there wasn't warmth with a lot of other people. And it's like it's like your world is being turned upside down in the best way. I think the next move, though, the thing that might stress you out is, how are we going to pay for this? Or how is this going to come about? So you may, by the end of the night, be wondering how is this all going to play out, or something like that. But I don't think that is going to be the biggest thing on your mind. I think more than anything, you're going to be really excited. I think though, that there is going to be, this experience is just going to be very eye-opening for you. And you're going to realize, like, you're going to understand why Spirit wouldn't allow certain people to come in, or why Spirit wouldn't let certain people come back in. It's like you're going to understand now that you didn't even need to miss them, or that they never needed to be a part of your life. And on the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords to summarize your energy, and the Stars. So I definitely think that you are finishing off today with a lot of hope. I also think that you're going to be very excited to tell people about this. I think you're going to be very excited to talk to others about this and get to planning. I think what's very interesting, though, is like the difference between the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. It definitely seems like when this comes in, you're going to be thinking, you're probably not going to say it, but you're probably going to be like, it's about time. And you might think, like, you might be really shocked. Like, you may have thought this person wasn't up to a higher level of commitment or something like that. But overall, the day is going to go by really quickly, is what Spirit is saying. It's like, it's all going to happen really fast. And on that day, if you're the one proposing, you're definitely going to be very worried. You're definitely going to be very in your head, very nervous. But Spirit is saying, like, it's all going to turn out the way it is meant to. But if you are the one being proposed to, then Spirit is saying, forget you ever saw this reading. You totally didn't see this reading. You can save it, though, and remember that you saw this reading after this day happens. I'm hoping that for a lot of you, this is further into the future, so I'm not like exposing somebody with plans. but I think Spirit's only comfortable exposing something that y'all either know is happening or will happen. So I definitely think when it comes to this, this exciting day is going to be something that you remember forever, and it's going to go by really, really quickly. So Spirit is saying, this is your reminder to stay present in the moment, because it's going to be over like that in the flash of an eye. So let's go ahead now and look at your oracles so that we can fill in some of the details about this day. So we're going to start. We have listening. So you might know that day that something is happening here. We also have grounding. Okay. We have yin yang. And we have financial constraints. So yeah, that definitely could be something that you both are worried about. Let's see what else. So for you on this day, we have elk. And we have Tiwaz. So we have justice upright, courage and justice. We also have the one who hides the sun. And we have I am wild and free. We also have make. And finally, we have rejection. Wow, okay. Maybe for some of you, you are rejecting this person or you are being rejected. But I don't think that's the case. I think more so than anything, you're just worrying about rejection. Oh, sorry, Spirit. Yeah, for those of you who are not doing the proposing, you're going to understand why everyone else was the rejection. Because you're ascending, you are growing. And what's beautiful is that we have this throat chakra listening, and then we have this grounding card. And it almost looks like they're connected. And what's even cooler is that they both reduce to a 6. And I definitely think that this is somebody that you are going to experience unconditional love with. Now, the biggest thing, one or both of you might be worried about how much like, for example, if there's a ring, one or both of you might be worried about how much it costs, or they may not, the person proposing to you may not have a physical object, for example. Like, they may propose, and then you may both be thinking like, okay, how are we going to afford this, or what is our budget? Like, you guys may do that together. Because what I'm seeing here is that definitely the financial constraints thing came through. And so that might be something that you both are thinking about. Like, okay, what's going to be the most financially understandable route to do this? But with this listening card here, I think you're just going to be taking a lot in that day. But I also think you're going to recognize that it took you listening to your intuition. It took you following your divine guidance for you to get here. And with this elk card here, I think that this is going to be a day where it's almost like a day of reckoning, in the sense where you have to be mature. You have to be solid. You have to be grounded. And I think this is the type of person that is either proposing to you, or you're going to be doing the proposing, and they are going to be very like somebody solid, somebody trustworthy, somebody that you see as worth having a life with. And with this make card here, I feel like the day is what you both make of it, if I'm being honest. And with this I am wild and free, I think that you're going to recognize that with the reason why you feel comfortable committing to this connection or ascending to a higher level of commitment is because this person makes you feel wild and free. You feel wild and free with them. And maybe, excuse me, I can't stop burping. Maybe this is something that you've wanted for a really long time. And so finally, it's like you feel wild and free with this sort of commitment, which is kind of ironic, but it makes sense. Like, maybe this is something you've wanted for a really long time. And another thing that I think is interesting is that we have 2 4s. We have 22 and we have 13, but one is balanced and the other isn't. And so I feel like the relationship between the two of you is going to be very balanced, but maybe your finances aren't. So that's going to be something that you guys are like aware of and are going to need to work on. But I definitely think if you're the one doing the proposing, there's a lot here coming through that Spirit is saying like, yep, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be afraid of rejection, but that's normal. But for those of you that are being proposed to, I definitely think that you're going to understand why you had to be rejected or why you rejected other people. Like, you're going to finally understand why everything led to this moment. And with the one who hides the sun, I totally think that either the person proposing is going to keep the proposee completely oblivious, or if you're being proposed to, you are going to be completely oblivious to what is happening until it happens. Like, you're gonna have no idea. It's gonna like come out of nowhere. And with this listening card coming down to grounding, I think Spirit is saying that this event will happen solely through listening to your own inner guidance, and like that's what will lead you to grounding this situation on earth. And what's really beautiful, I actually told this last pile, but like I'm not pulling any advice cards here, because this is a day in your future meant to happen, and so you really can't mess it up, and so there's really nothing to worry about. Like, you just need to keep doing you. But Spirit is saying you're grounding something into reality that has, one, been a long time coming, but two, it's adding roots to this connection that you've been listening to your heart about, that you've been listening to Spirit about. And I think it's going to take courage on both of your parts to keep ascending and to keep evolving. But I would say that like maybe this is somebody rejecting you, but like it's not, because this is an exciting day in your future, and that's not really very exciting, and Spirit wouldn't talk about that. So I definitely think more than anything, this could be a bittersweet situation where it's like you both are ready, but maybe you don't have the resources to create the life that you want, or to have the wedding that you want, or to have the ring that you want, or whatever the case may be. But I think you both are going to make a beautiful day out of it, make a beautiful experience from it, and you both are going to have a really great time. I definitely think that you're maybe going to be at times more of an observer than anything, but this is definitely going to be an exciting day, and from what I can see, it's going to happen really fast. So if you picked this pile, no, you didn't see anything, unless you're the one proposing, which then is fine. But if you're being proposed to, and you are with somebody that you think this is it, you didn't see this video does not exist, you picked a different pile, unless there's another pile talking about something like this. In that case, you didn't pick either of those piles. You are none the wiser. So pile 2, I am going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. So if you want to support me in any free ways, that is the best way. But if you want to support me in other free ways, you can like this video. You can comment down below and let me know how it resonates, or the fact that you have no idea what's going on, wink wink. You can subscribe. I would love that. Click that little bell notification to be notified whenever you upload a new whenever I upload a new reading. You're not uploading anything silly. You can check out my merch, which is linked down below. You can also check out my social medias. I post a lot of readings on Instagram. When I'm not too afraid, I do get on TikTok, and I shitpost on Twitter. So lots of fun stuff. But I think that's all I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it resonated. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you guys will come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Aqua or a Quartz, this is going to be your reading on an exciting day in your future. We're just going to have to see what that day is. You guys chose the 5-cent tarot. So hopefully this is a day in your future, actually. Just based on the 2 piles so far, they were definitely different. So I'm excited to see what's going to come through here. I have all of the cards upright for now. Yeah. Because I want Spirit, that was a shit shuffle. I want Spirit to indicate whether or not something needs to be reversed. I want Spirit to work a little hard for it. I hope everyone is doing amazing. And I hope that I can do one final good shuffle before we start shuffling. So good vibes, Spirit. There we go. That was the moneymaker. Okay. So Spirit, Well, essentially what we're going to do, by the way, is just go throughout your whole day. We'll get all the information we possibly can from the tarot cards, and we're going to go from when you wake up to when you're going to bed, and then we're going to look at the oracles to fill in any details that we may have missed out on, confirm things that we picked up on, and get any information that we didn't have before. So, Spirit, on this exciting day in Pile 3's future, how are they waking up? How is Pile 3 waking up in this future exciting day of theirs? Okay, so we have the Emperor. Wow. Okay, so first of all, you're waking up whenever you want to wake up. Nobody is making you wake up except your damn self. In fact, the vibe, I set this rule in the very first pile, and then I immediately regretted it, but I definitely get this vibe for you. I was kind of taking any court cards to represent an energy that you're in, and not any court cards, I'm taking any major cards to represent an energy that you're in, and the court cards as people around you. That didn't necessarily fly the entire time, but in this case, I definitely think that this is representing you. I definitely think that on this day that you're waking up, you are in a much more prominent place, and you wake up empowered. Like, you wake up feeling strong and sure of yourself. And at this point in your life, you wake up with some authority. So whether you have authority over others or just yourself, you're waking up on your own terms, or you're waking up at a scheduled time that you have to because you are in this Emperor energy, and you're either running things, or you have a lot of power over something or a certain situation. Your alarm at this time, this is a random message, but your alarm at this time could be a song of importance to you. So it seems like you start the day with a song or with an alarm, but that alarm was either set because you set it that way, because you're like, I'm going to wake up at this time because I want to, or you're waking up at this time because you have things that you need to do. So then what is Pile 3 doing next, Spirit? We have the Fool. Wow, okay. So this is a really big day for you guys. Really, really big. With the New Beginnings card here, this could be a new day at a new job. This could be, clearly this is, you're waking up in a new day in your new life. So it seems like you've probably gone through some transition before then. But with the Fool, I almost wonder if this could also just be representative of the fact that maybe you don't have a specific morning routine. Like, maybe you're trying a different morning routine. Maybe you're exercising for some of you. So like, I could almost see this as like, this wheel is like an elliptical, or maybe you're riding your bike, you're going for a run. You could be doing something physical. Both of these cards represent Aries energy as well. So it's like you're waking up in the day with like a burst of energy. So if that sounds like you all the time, then this is maybe a more normal morning for you. But if you don't, then there's clearly something very exciting happening today. Obviously, if that's what we're reading about, Spirit's like, no duh. That is making you wake up with a lot of energy, excited for what is to come. So what's happening next, Spirit? Wow, okay, so we have the King of Wands. So this feels like an energy outside of yours. It's either you or somebody else in your circle. If this is, okay, so because you're still at home. The vibe that I'm getting is that you're still at home. But you could have left. You could have been like, I just got to get ready. I got to go. I got to get out the door. This King of Wands is either you. So, you know, this is Aries energy. So this could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. We do have the Lion here with extra Leo energy. Or this could be somebody that you are dating, married to, with. This is somebody that I would say is very similar to you and at a similar level of like prominence or authority as you. So this Emperor and this King of Wands, like for example, maybe you identify more as an Empress or identify more with just the Empress card, because let's be real, you can be both an Empress and and an Emperor and like all of that. It's possible that this person also embodies that Emperor energy, and so maybe you're waking up together. But I definitely think so how is pile 3 interacting with this King of Wands? Judgment. Wow. Okay. Holy crap. Epiphany, awakening, epiphany, calling. Okay, so just straight out of the fucking gate, we have 3 major arcanas. I'm going to need some more information here, Spirit. So after this Judgment, the King of Pentacles. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to see your whole dang morning, Spirit. And the Beyond. Oh my God, this is so fucking cool. Okay. So, this is either all about you, which would make sense if it's all about you, because the king, both kings here, the Emperor is made up of all the kings, and so far we've had 2 kings pop out. So this could be a same-sex relationship of some type, or you could be one of these. You could identify as being a future partner, even if they don't have a masculine energy. That's just what's coming through. This King of Buttons, this King of Pentacles, this feels like you, or a boss of some type. So with this Judgment card, it's like maybe you're only fully waking up and leaving and getting ready for the day. Because what I'm seeing here is that this is either you or somebody in charge of you. This could be your partner, which they wouldn't be in charge of you, but at the very least, there's somebody solid and secure. But this is definitely a future in which you are very mature. So even if you're mature for your age, like you're mature in terms of where you're at in life. So like you're either financially comfortable, or I mean, you're in a very prominent place. In fact, I think that it's likely that maybe this is a partner, and this King of Pentacles is a business partner, or somebody, or your boss, or somebody that is involved in your career. Because what I'm seeing here is maybe you're spending a lot of time like with this person during the morning, and you're like, oh crap, I'm like late for my job, or like you could have an intense moment during the morning where you're like, this is the first day of the rest of my life, which is cheesy, but like this is the first day of a new life. This is the first day of where I'm meant to be. And it's so fascinating that not only do we have the Fool, but we also have the Beyond, which this is a card just in this deck, and it represents the soul. So I feel like for some of you, you may not have even left the house yet. But like from what I'm seeing here, you're making money doing something that makes your soul happy. You're doing something that spirit, that the Beyond is supportive of. And as a result, it's given you all of this affluence. It's given you all of this, what's acumen? I don't even know what that means, but you've grown a lot. You've learned to be more disciplined, and you've awakened to a lot. You've had a lot of epiphanies, and you recognize that whatever this is your calling. So maybe you are the leader of like a company. Maybe you're the leader of just your own job. Maybe you're working for yourself. This could also be a sign, for example, this is definitely going to resonate for a lot less of you, but for example, if you're a medium, you could be literally like this day, you know, going to your job and then interacting with the Beyond, or interacting with the people that are no longer people, if you catch my drift, and things that are have never been people. So okay, let's see here. What's happening in the afternoon then, Spirit? Because the morning's a little bit iffy. So what is pile 3 doing next? We have Temperance, Patience. Okay, so maybe it takes you a while to get going, get working, or get where you need to be. We have the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Cups. Okay, so it seems like on this day, you're being challenged a bit. Like on this day, you're realizing that you need to, like there's a big problem heading your way, or a big, for something, a big client, or a big, this definitely feels more career oriented, because I honestly can't even tell if there's somebody in the picture here, because these could honestly both be representations of you. Like you're waking up and you're starting this day, and you're starting it in a very King of Wands energy. You have visions, you're ready to be successful, and then you have some type of important epiphany, or this Judgment card could represent you getting to your job, and just having like getting to your job or starting your job if you're working at home, like getting to your desk and just having this epiphany of like, wow, I can't believe how far I've come. And with this King of Pentacles, I think you're going to be really proud of yourself and just like, wow, I can't believe I've done all this. And I think there's a recognition that that your soul and spirit kind of set this up for you. However, whatever is happening with this, it's requiring you to be patient. And in fact, there may be something like, for example, you could be staying at home. So you may be like balancing this job with like your personal life, balancing this job with a partner, balancing this job with children, something like that. And this day is requiring you to kind of go about things slowly but surely. But the beautiful thing here is we have this butterfly, and then we have a butterfly again, but this time it's on top of a turtle. And so I kind of see the butterfly as you, and kind of representative of the transformations that you've been going through. But it seems like you're on someone's back for support, whether this is the people working underneath you, whether this is spirit helping you. Somebody is helping you stay sane in this situation. Somebody is helping you find balance and work with people. And then either somebody comes in to tell you something, or you have a realization at like a eureka moment, or a realization about something that you weren't aware of. So this could be a solution to a problem that you had been having, or you're introducing new ideas in this day. But for some reason, these new ideas that you're introducing brings about a level of disappointment. Like, for example, maybe you're recognizing with this Ace of Swords, Five of Cups, that you've been focused on the glass half empty, or that you've been too negative in the recent past. This could also just be disappointment with how something plays out, or disappointment with your ability to execute something. This definitely feels like disappointment more than lamentation. For some of you, this could be like maybe you were really disappointed about, like maybe you had a different job or career before this and you were really disappointed about that. Let's see what's happening next, because that may help us. You may also as well, because you seem to be in a pretty good place. So it's quite possible that this Five of Cups is coming from somebody else, and you're helping them through it. So what's next? Haha, the Empress. Okay. So yeah, this job is definitely, whether it's a job or something else, it definitely requires you to be more nurturing and creative. So for some of you, you could be with the person you consider your Empress or your Emperor. So for some of you, I'm seeing like you're meeting up with your person for like lunch or something, and talking to them about what's going on. This definitely feels like a stable, solid relationship that you're in. And I think that like maybe, for example, there's been some difficulties at your job, because this does feel like you're either going to a job or you're going somewhere. Like even if you work for yourself, it seems like by this point you have your own office space or a studio. It seems like you're in charge of a lot of people, but maybe there's some disappointing things or some difficulties with your partner, because it seems like your partner's coming through to help you. They're also coming in to help you with your creativity. Like maybe honestly, this doesn't have to do with a partner at all, and you just realize like, okay, I need to be in my feminine energy right now and kind of go outside and take a second and allow things to unfold. So you're looking for creative solutions. But what happens next? Okay, so we have the Page of Wands. Initiative, discovery, exploration. So whatever this issue is, whatever this problem is, I think somebody that works underneath you or one of your children or a child around you could have a solution to this. They could have a discovery like that of some kind. Ooh, or I mean, this could be far enough into your future where you have like children that are like old enough to be doing things and they're not just like little blobs that don't pay rent. So it's possible that you could be like doing all this badass businessy stuff and then you have to take away from it, and maybe you're like disappointed with how much you got done that day, but you're also equally excited to be around your family. So maybe you're going to a game of some type, like for your children or for somebody else's child that you know. But you could also be doing something different. Like maybe you take this walk out in nature and you discover something really exciting that makes you want to explore it. So what happens after this, Spirit? Wow, okay, so we have the unknown, divine faith, openness, and curiosity. So, wow, okay. Spirit's not saying what this thing is. Whatever you're doing, you're exploring into the unknown. I'm actually going to take a sip and like listen to Spirit for a second. So is this like all them? Okay, Spirit told me to take the kings as other people and keep all of this as you, just to be safe. So I would say this king is either a partner. Like I said, it definitely could be an energy of yours, but it could also be somebody that is like a colleague or a coworker of some kind. In fact, you could just wake up and head to your new job or your new beginning, whatever that is, and have a realization of how far you've come. There could also be maybe somebody above you coming in and being like, and like having their own desires, and so you may be having to be patient with like the people that you're working with, and you do reach a good point, but maybe you're disappointed at like the conclusion you both come to. And so as a result, you spend some time nurturing yourself, and then you go out discovering something. It's like we're heading into the evening now. So something happens that's outside of your normal routine where you start exploring something. So we reach this unknown, Spirit, and then what happens? Okay, we have the Lovers. So we have partnership, commitment. So either you are meeting up with somebody that you don't even know exists yet, or somebody that you don't know that you'll be with yet. Like you can know who this person is but have no idea that they're with you, but they're your person. So on this exciting day, maybe you're meeting them, or maybe this is somebody that you already know and you're running into them. But whatever the case may be, you're feeling good about yourself. Like you're feeling confident, and your divine faith leads you to this person. And maybe this is your first meeting. Maybe you're meeting them on a date. Maybe you're meeting them, maybe you've been dating them. Maybe you both woke up together. I mean, we have the Empress, the Emperor, and the Lovers. So like it's quite possible you could already be with this person, but maybe you're doing something special with them that literally doesn't exist yet because the person that it's for isn't alive yet, or there's too many factors for Spirit to say. The interesting thing is that this feels less like an event and more so the culmination of a lot of events. And once again, the unknown is another card that does not exist in any deck outside of this deck. So what is pile 3 doing with this partner? Because we're clearly getting into the afternoon, late evening. Okay, so we have the 6 of Wands. So acclaim. So you both could be going to some type of dinner or something that's meant to honor the both of you, or meant to honor your partner. or you, depending on the accomplishments. There's some kind of success and acclaim. And actually, maybe this kind of breakthrough that you had is what you're celebrating. And even though you're disappointed that you didn't get everything, you're celebrating that you were still successful. If you're just meeting this partner, though, I would definitely say that there's somebody who is also very successful, who is also in that same energy as you. So there will definitely be a matching of energies. What else, though, Spirit? Oh, okay, we have the High Priestess. So on this day, you are like, on the surface, it seems like not, like some things are happening, but it seems like a lot of what's happening is underneath the surface. A lot of what makes this day exciting is not something that someone would see from the outside. But with the High Priestess here, it's like you're either telepathically communicating with this person, or maybe you're around people that like you're around a ton of people, and so you both are kind of putting your best foot forward, but you both are kind of thinking about how you want to, like, how you're thinking about like secret things, or you want to go home with this person. The interesting thing as well is that you could be honored for being a High Priestess in some way. So you could be honored for like a move that you made in your company or something. Like, you could be honored for like all that you've accomplished. You could be honored for something really special in like a group that you're involved in, for example. It almost feels like when you're there, it's going to feel like deja vu. Like, it's almost like you're going to dream about this event before it happens. Like, there's going to be some precognition involved. What else, Spirit? Yeah, we have the Two of Cups. So maybe on this day, this person is asking you to become something more. And maybe that is what this is all about. Like, maybe this is a day where you have no idea any of this is happening, and then you happen to run into somebody that ends up being your person. Let's see how the day ends, because that's gonna help me a bit more. So 2 more cards, Spirit. Wow, okay, so now we have the Queen of Pentacles. And finally, we have the 7 of Pentacles. And the back of the deck will represent the overall, all-encompassing idea of the day. And we have the Hanged Man, a perspective shift. Okay, so wow. So on this day, the interesting thing, that what makes this day so exciting is not a specific event. But in fact, it's more so a realization at the end of the day of how far you've come and how much you have been able to overcome. In fact, I would not be shocked. You know what's so cool is we have the King of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I almost wonder if we have 2 examples of counterpart energy here. So you and this person could both be earth signs, but this is also quintessential like husband-wife energy. So this could definitely be your marriage partner, which is coming through with the Lovers again. So it definitely seems like there's a family involvement to this, especially since we have the Two of Cups as well. So like maybe you're spending the evening with your person, with your partner, talking about the day, and then it almost seems like you come home to put like a kid to bed, or to put somebody to bed, to take care of somebody. Although this Page of Wands could totally be a pet or an animal. I think if anything, it's like you're spending the beginning of the day and the majority of the day focused on your own pursuits, and you're really focused on them. And then towards the end of the day, it's like as things are naturally progressing, like there's a little bit of disappointment throughout the day, but you see how you can learn from it and what you can gain from it. And then it's like you almost go into parent mode. So in some way, it's almost like the end of the day ends with this 5 of Cups in terms of your career. And then family life starts here. It literally like splits in the middle, and like family life's on this side. So maybe for the career part, you know, you're waking up at the time you have to wake up and getting things ready. This is an exciting day for you, but you may have a lot of you may be envisioning how you want this day to go, but you realize that you might get there and realize it's not happening the way you want it to, but you're able to use what you already know to create the outcome that you want, and you're being supported by spirit. And so you stay patient and try to look at differing sides to come to a solution. And both sides may end up a little bit disappointed, but you're happy with the breakthrough that you got to, like it's a problem you resolved. And then it's like things shift, and then it's like you're out of work mode and now you're in family mode. So it's like now this Empress energy, doesn't matter your gender, but like it's like you're in this more feminine energy now. So you're either taking care of somebody, like maybe you have to pick somebody up from school or something like that, but you're taking somebody to something unknown at this time. So this person either doesn't exist yet, or what they are doing doesn't exist yet, because it seems like you meet up with your partner, talk about what happened today, talk about the successes. You both feel accomplished overall. And there's like an intuitive connection. So you're checking in. So you're not just checking in with the people around you, you're also checking in with spirit. So you may take time away to like read for yourself or to meditate. And then it seems like you're going back to your partner. So maybe you're having dinner with them. Maybe dinner was over here. I'm kind of leaving this all open. But it seems like towards the end of the night, you're focusing on the people that need you. So whether that's children, whether those are animals, it's like you're taking care of them, whether that's your partner, if you're your partner's carer. And like I said, this could be somebody that you literally don't even know yet. But towards the end of the day, it's like you're getting into bed and you're reflecting. And with this Hanged Man being on the back of the deck and this Ace of Wands underneath it, this day is exciting, not because of any one specific moment. In fact, there may be, because this is a general reading and there's so many options of what could be happening, there's so many different ways this day could be exciting for you. Like maybe this is your kid's first soccer game, or your first day at a new job and you meet someone really special. Or, for example, like you meet somebody really special and you feel intuitively that there's going to be something deeper there and you're excited for that. There's literally so many ways that this could be interpreted. It's a bit more difficult because like the energy is less distinct than the past two groups. But I think that's kind of the beauty of it, is like the day itself may not be the most exciting thing in the world, or you may just be taking things one hour at a time. Let's be real. You're taking things like 1 hour at a time, and you're just, trying to get through the day. So you're not really thinking about it. But it's like at the end of the day, what's really exciting is you're going to realize how far you've come and how different your life is from how it is right now. And I think that's why it's important for you to see this, because I feel like if you chose this pile, you need to know that the way your life is right now is not the way it is going to be forever. In fact, I think that this is going to be a very healing time for you, because you're going to be reflecting and you're going to realize, wow, I've come so far. I've already cultivated so much. And now I have the motivation to keep going. It's like you've already built such a solid foundation for yourself. And now it's time for you to realize that you're no longer, a child or somebody that doesn't have life figured out. Like you're the adult now. You're the person who has things figured out, and you don't have things figured out, which is a little bit of a scary perspective to have. But the freeing thing is that you're just realizing how far you've come, how much you've grown, and the fact that like life is so different and you've overcome so much. You're healing, you're recognizing how lucky you are to be at this point in time and to be with these people, to have this partner, to have these children, to have this family. You're just feeling lucky and you're feeling grateful. So what happens that's exciting throughout the day is going to be different for all of you. And maybe you all find these events exciting, but the most exciting part is not anything you do that day. The exciting thing is the realization of how much you've grown and how far you've come. So let's go ahead and look at your oracles now and see if they can fill in some of the gaps, because I'm definitely confused, and I think that's partially because there's just a lot of energies at different places in time, and so it's hard to synthesize all of those, but let's go ahead and see. Okay, so we have forgiveness. So maybe you have a difficult conversation, or you had been in a difficult place with your partner, and that was something that was disappointing you. Because what's really interesting is you have a breakthrough with it, and then it kind of seems like things move forward. But we also have nothing has gone wrong. Love that. I love that energy. Let's see what else we have. So we have healer of the ages, and we have broken heart. We also have oyster, and we have Rado. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it represents movement and travel. And then we have the gallery of those who came before. We have I am abundant, which that is definitely true. We also have begin, and we have acceptance. So I think that this time in your life is huge, because there may be some people that by this point in time are not in your life anymore, but the exciting events in your life help you find forgiveness to them and heal. However, maybe at this time you're single, or you've had a broken heart for a long time, and in this day when you're working, you end up meeting somebody that's meant to be somebody for the rest of your, like somebody that's meant to be in your life for a really long time. What's really interesting is, once again, there's so many different ways that this could go. I can't talk about specifics as much as I would like to. With the oyster card here, it does seem like you're keeping your true emotions inside. It's like you're not really expressing them. You're remaining calm, cool, and collected on the outside. And I think one thing that you're learning is how to balance your own feelings with the needs and the desires of others. And with this, nothing has gone wrong. I think one thing that you're realizing, this is, oh my God, this is going to be such a fucking healing day for you, because whatever happens during this day, it is going to be so impactful that feelings that you've left buried for years or a while are resolved, are healed. With this healer of the ages, you're going to realize how far you've come with your healing and how much you can help others heal. And with this broken heart, it's like things that you were disappointed about don't impact you as much, because you realize that nothing has gone wrong, and you forgive those that you are at a place in life where you can forgive those that have done wrong to you. And with this begin, it's like, even if your life isn't different, even if you're going to sleep in the future for that tomorrow, knowing that your life is not going to be any different than the same way you woke up that day, you know that you're beginning that next day with a new attitude, and you're going to have more excitement for life. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be excited by all the potential in your new life. And you're going to realize that you're no longer a caterpillar, but you're a butterfly, and there are caterpillars watching you, wanting to amount to what you've done. And I definitely think with this card here, I don't think that you'll be living in the place that you're living in now when you're watching this. I definitely think that you've moved to a different place. I definitely think that you are in, I bet you would be surprised to see your house. Like, your house is definitely going to be, in the words of Borat, very nice. And I think you're going to realize that everything was leading you up to this moment. And there's going to be a lot of forgiveness, not only for yourself and the decisions that you made for your past, but for others as well. And you're going to be a lot more accepting of your current reality and accept things for the way they are. And I also think you're going to have a lot of acceptance for difficulties in your past that you never got closure from. And in fact, I think you're just going to realize that maybe not everything and not everyone, God, I can't stop burping, is worth your time and energy, because you're gonna be like, bitch, I don't care. Like, I'm fucking rich. I got like a partner. I'm successful. Nothing has gone wrong. And like, you're gonna realize you have so much love for others that like nobody can fuck with your mood. But it is quite possible maybe you wake up and you're like ignoring your partner because maybe there was like some type of argument. And maybe one of the exciting things is that you guys overcome this, or maybe you've been having a rough patch and you're able to heal from it and be stronger. And that could be a really exciting part about that day. Or maybe you're like worried that this person is going to break your heart, and then you both work through it and grow stronger. Whatever the case may be, it's honestly like this isn't even a day, but it is a day, but it's going to be a day in your future that I could never point to on a calendar, because where you are all going to be during it is so different. But also the freedom that you will feel from it and the amount of healing to come from it is going to be amazing. Like, the real excitement is going to be the realization of how far you've come on your journey. It's going to be a lot less about a specific event. Although it does seem like there are specific events happening on this day that are putting you in this energy of reflection, I can't see what they are. Like, spirit won't let me see what they are, and I think that's either because some of these events don't exist yet, or some of the people involved in these events don't exist yet, or if spirit gave me those details, it's unnecessary for you to know, I guess. And I'm actually not doing any advice for this reading because I made the assumption that that this is just a day coming into your future, which spirit confirmed. They said you don't need advice. You just need to keep doing yourself. Like, you're going to fall into this day on your own. But the really fascinating thing is that, like, I don't know how far in the future this day is for you. And honestly, I don't really know what's happening. A lot of shit, but with all the major arcanas, it makes it a little bit harder for those kind of details to come in. But no matter what the case may be, there's some major shit happening, and it seems like there's a lot of growth, a lot of movement, and you're going to just realize how far you've come. And I think it's going to further solidify your trust in spirit, your trust in yourself. And I think you're going to realize, like, how silly it was for you to hold yourself back, for you to hold your gifts back, and for you to hold anything back, because you're going to realize how healing it is to be open and to let things go. And I think you're going to realize that you're in a position now where people are looking up to you, and you are the inspiration rather than being the person seeking it. So this is really, really beautiful. You're going to be in a really good place, and I'm so excited for all of you. Like, I wish I could give better details, but this is just, all of your whole life is different. It's like, it might honestly, like, Spirit's saying that if you had as much detail as they have right now, you would be freaked out at how different your life is, and it would make you question a lot of what you're doing right now, and that's not what you need. Like, you need to just trust that what you're doing right now is exactly what you need to be doing, and everything will be fine. So pile 3, I think I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you're interested in supporting me in other ways, you can like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates, if it resonates. You can also check out my social media, you can check out my merch linked down below. And yeah, I think that's all I have. This reading was definitely more experimental, so apologies if you didn't get much inspiration from it, but I hope at the very least it helped or was entertaining. Thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 4. If you guys chose this cluster of Pyrite and the Fairytale Tarot, this is going to be your reading on an exciting day in your future. So the first 3 have been very interesting so far. I'm really excited to see what comes out for you guys, but essentially what we're gonna do is start with how you're waking up and go through the entire day. The most difficult thing is that sometimes there are areas left blank because Spirit literally can't fill in the gaps yet. But hopefully this will resonate, or at the very least sound like something that's like right for you. Feel free to try another pile if it doesn't though. But essentially we're just kind of gonna go in blind and see what we can see. starting off, and then we will use the oracles after to fill in the details and see what information we can get that we couldn't from the tarot. So Spirit, how is pile 4 on this exciting day in their future? How are they waking up? I just heard Spirit go with Folgers in your cup. Aha! What? That's funny that Spirit did that and then that came out. So Queen of Cups. So you're waking up and getting a cup of coffee, a cup of something. You're waking up and you're like, I need caffeine. That's how you're waking up, which that might be a way of telling somebody, yep, that sounds like me. The funny thing that I'm realizing though is in the past pile the Queen of Cups came out and I didn't think of it in that context in that pile. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody picks those two piles. But if you pick this pile and then the Queen of Cups comes out in a different pile, could be coffee. But I definitely think you're waking up with something in your cup that is caffeinated. So then what's pile 4 doing? Oh my God. Okay, we have the King of Cups. So it looks like at this point in your life, you have a partner, you have a counterpart. And they are with you. So you are waking up with this person. This is amazing. This is really amazing. Okay, so what are you both doing then? Because clearly we have a guest. What are you both doing? Knight of Pentacles. It looks like you're headed off to work. Like you both are waking up. You're headed off to work. So it looks like you both are spending your morning together. And then it's like, okay, now we got to go work. Whether it's working together, working on a business, working on something, you're just going to work. So, okay, pile 4 is at work or doing their work. So what's happening now? We have the Two of Cups. So maybe never mind. Spirit wants me to take this card. Oh, okay, the High Priestess. Okay, never mind. You guys are going to work. But on this day, you're not really thinking about work. You're thinking about your person. So maybe you guys had a really wonderful night the night before. You both are really feeling each other. To have these twos mirrored and these mirrored, it's like you both feel connected, even though you might be now apart, or unless you work together. Which if you work together, then you may be like at your job keeping things low key, like if people don't know yet, or for example, you could just be at your job, but like emotionally, mentally, you're off thinking about your person. So with this High Priestess here, you could just be off in La La Land or getting information, hearing things. But it's also possible as well that your job is something that you really love. It could be something that you genuinely enjoy doing. And it's possible maybe as well, you might be staying home and your partner may be going to work. Just because I noticed that the King is looking at the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen is looking down. I'm not assuming what your gender is or anything like that. I mean, they could absolutely be flip-flopped or anything, or this could be same-sex, whatever it is. But what it kind of seems like is you're either staying home because you are like, that's like your job, or you're staying home because you're not working but your person is, or you're also working and your person is working and you're thinking about them. But if you're staying home, for example, and your person goes to work, then you could just be thinking about how much you love them, about the night before, things like that. You could just be feeling them intuitively. What happens after the High Priestess? Page of Wands. Wow, this Page of Wands has been really wanting to come out. So you're going on an adventure now. Maybe it's an adventure for lunch. Maybe it's an adventure to go get something, but you're going out on an adventure, and I kind of adore these little gopher guys. They're so cute. It's possible you could have a child, so you could be going to lunch with your child, bringing lunch to your child, or picking your child up for lunch if you have a child. You could also be taking somebody that you work with to lunch, like an intern or maybe somebody shadowing you. Something like that is the vibe that I'm getting. But what happens next, Spirit? Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. It seems like you have to fight to get a reservation or a fight to find somewhere that will take the both of you. That's really interesting. Or you have to like race against time to get back to work in time, or to fight traffic. It's like whatever adventure you're going on, it's like the odds are against your favor in some way. Like you gotta fight traffic, you gotta fight the midday rush, whatever it may be. But it all works out. It all works out because somebody comes through and helps you. So this King of Pentacles, this could totally be a parent, or this could also just be a different manifestation of your partner. Like maybe your partner comes through and makes everything better, or your boss, like for example, if you have a boss, like maybe you're running late to get back to work and your boss is like, oh, I saw how bad that traffic was, like don't worry. Whatever the case may be, whatever you're fighting against, there's justice for it. So maybe, for example, maybe one thing you're doing that day is you're asking for a raise, or you're asking for a promotion, or you're fighting for something that you deserve. Like maybe you're filing a complaint or something like that. But whatever it is, it seems like it's coming out in your favor. Another thing that I'm seeing is that this could have to do with a court case. This could just be your day, you going about your day, and then finding out a court case that you have been fighting is successful in your favor, and you find out that you're going to get some financial rewards from that. So that could definitely be exciting as fuck. Let's see what's next. We have the Fool. Wow, okay. So whatever this is, it definitely seems like it's something that you're excited for. It's something new. Maybe for some of you as well, this could be a day where you're putting your 2 weeks in, and you're worried that like when you put your 2 weeks in, and by all means, this could be a job that you're putting for your 2 weeks in for that you have no idea that you're going to have yet. So it's all going to depend. But whatever this justice situation is, you're feeling refreshed. You're ready to start anew. Because even if it's like you're fighting for a new job, or you're like worried that when you put your 2 weeks in, or you're quitting or something, that your boss is going to be upset with you or something like that, and you find that they're not at all. If this is a legal thing, you're like light on your feet, feeling so excited. Or you may find a situation that you fought for really hard, or like something that you really wanted. Somebody that cares about you could resolve the situation for you, allowing you to feel a lot lighter. But what else is happening? Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is something, this makes you excited for what's to come. It's like midday. You know, one thing as well, you may have doubled down on the caffeine because you're feeling light and excited and motivated again. So you could have had some more caffeine midday to kind of balance you out. But what is this Ace of Wands? Fool. What's going on? Okay, Ten of Swords. So some kind of important ending is happening that day. That something is ending. That's what's really exciting. Something that you've needed, and it doesn't have anything to do with a relationship, like a romantic relationship. Because what I'm seeing here is that if you have a romantic relationship with somebody, they're going to be kind of in your they're gonna be in your vicinity. But whatever this Ten of Swords is about is either related to like a job, something, or a legal case that you've been wanting to end. Because whatever this is, it's something that's been weighing on you for a long time. And we woke up today with our King of Cups having a good time. Maybe this King of Pentacles is somebody that you've been fighting against. So for example, maybe at this point in the future, you're divorcing a King of Pentacles type person, and you've been fighting, you know, this battle for a while. Maybe you've been fighting for custody or something like that, and things are working out in your favor and you're feeling a lot lighter. But at the same time, it does feel like this came at a cost, or this ending came at a cost. So with this Ten of Swords here, it's almost like it sucks that this chapter of your life is over, or it sucks that things had to happen this way. but you're feeling so relieved to just start anew and motivated for what the future has. It's almost like this is a day where you're going about your normal life with the people that are meant to be there, the people that you love, but at the same time, this day is a day where you're tying up loose ends from your past that have kept you feeling held back or held down. So after this Ten of Swords, we're kind of heading into the evening now. So what's happening here? It's like you're laying a lot of things to rest. And I think one of them may be like your need to pay money for legal fees or something like that. But what's happening after this Ten of Swords, Spirit? What is pile 4 getting up to? Okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So you may be reflecting on how far you've come, or you're being patient, like you may be waiting for somebody to come home, or you're waiting to come home. I almost feel like the Seven of Pentacles could be like just reflecting on how far you've come and how much you've grown. And I think also satisfaction that I just heard Rihanna say, bitch better have my money. And I think that this is saying like I'm not losing my money today. Like this is not my money that I'm losing. Like, thank God. Like, I think you're looking at what you've amassed so far and being like, wow, like this is all mine. What next? The Six of Wands. Yeah, you're feeling victorious. You're feeling excited. You're feeling like, wow, look at what I've overcome. Like I won. And I almost wonder too, like you and your counterpart may be celebrating together. Like, look at what we've done. Look at how far we've come. And I almost feel like this is just going to be a time where like towards the end of since this is towards your evening, it's like you're reflecting on the day, you're reflecting on the loose ends you tied up, and you're just feeling successful. You're feeling good. And I think your brain is honestly relieved to not worry about some of these things anymore. And truth be told, depending on when you're seeing this reading, like your brain may not even be worried about these things yet. Like this may be so far in your future, it's not even funny. Okay, yeah, we have the Page of Pentacles now. So what's funny is, so this Page of Pentacles could be a child. So you could be spending time with this child or something like that. But honestly, the vibe that I'm getting is that I think with like the money coming in, like there's some type of money coming in. And with this, you and your counterpart or you and somebody that you trust, you're going to invest this money in some way into something. It's like with all of this money that you're getting, you and your partner or you yourself are going to be making plans to invest this in some way, whether it's for your children's future, whether it's for, you could also be like taking your kids shopping or buying them something special, or your children shopping, buying them something special. It's like, you know, like the pages in here have these really cute, funky hats and shit. This could also be animals. So you could be spending time with your animals. But the vibe that I'm getting is like you woke up caffeinated and you're going to bed richer than you were when you woke up. So like that's pretty dang exciting. What else though? Wow, okay. So we have the Chariot and we have the Ace of Cups. And finally, Spirit, how is pile 4 going to bed? You're sleeping well that night. Oh my God, Spirit's saying like you haven't slept, you will not have slept this good in a fucking while. In fact, it's like you're going to bed knowing that, so maybe this is all celebrating and then you're going home and having some romantic time with your counterpart and then going to sleep. But another vibe that I'm getting is that like you're feeling excited for the future. You're ready to move forward. And with this Ace of Cups, like you're thinking about all the opportunities still to come your way. And the most exciting part is that like you no longer have to worry about something that really weighed on you. And the beautiful thing is that what's coming in is a lot of passion and a lot of emotional fulfillment. I think that you've come a long way when it comes to, by this point in time at least, you've come a long way when it comes to like your mental and physical pursuits. So like you've got a lot more monetary success, a lot more monetary abundance. I'm being told the back of the deck card's going to represent the day overall, but I'm being told that we need to see this card as well. Oh, the 10 of Cups. you're headed towards emotional fulfillment, and you know that. Like, the hard stuff is over, and the exciting part about this day is you're feeling like you're going to bed feeling like you belong to a happy family, or you're creating a family that's much happier than the one that you were brought into. And on the back of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. So this is a joyful day. This is a day where you're celebrating some sort of big accomplishment and getting ready to start anew and feeling balanced in a way where you can move forward. So this is really, really, really beautiful. So any fallout from a difficult situation, it seems like you've got family to support you. And the most exciting thing about this day is not only are these issues going to be resolved, but you're going to be ready for a new journey, ready for a new start. You're going to be ready for what the world has to offer you. So let's go ahead and look at your oracles now and see what comes through. I'll take Mr. Pyrite down here. And let's go ahead and see. So to start, we have meditation. It's interesting, I did get meditation with you guys. And we have channeling. So I'm just going to put that there. Hopefully you can still see it. Maybe you channeled this information beforehand, or you've seen this image in meditation. For some of you, maybe this isn't too far in the near future. And so maybe this is a channeling to let you know that like what you've been channeling and what you've been meditating on is accurate. But we also have happy family, which I love, and we have patience. So Spirit is definitely saying that it's going to require your patience to get here, but I love like how similar, like literally look at how similar that is. That is so beautiful. This is such an exciting day for you because not only, and I love too, we had 2 children cards. So we have the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. So you could have like a fire sign child and an earth sign child, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or you could in the future. But the main idea of this day is like joy after a long time coming. Like, you know, you've been exhausted for a while, and you've been working really hard, and it's like finally you get to rejoice and find your peace. So we also have the Deer, and we have Gebo or Jebo or Gabo, however you say that, generosity and balance. You guys got 2 of these cards. So we have cast your sacred symbols and the weight of truth. We also have I am open to receive. We have truth. So we have truth coming out twice. And finally, we have grief. So it's like something that you had been grieving is finally coming to a close. And not only that, it's like you're recognizing how far you've come and how much you've healed. Because like the truth in your heart is ringing loud and clear. The truth of your situation is finally becoming clear. And like maybe for a while, you've just felt like, it's like you could feel that things were getting better, but you didn't have anything to confirm that. And in fact, it felt like things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And this day is going to be a day that turns around for the positive. So you're going to be starting like, oh God, like I need to caffeinate myself, and ending it with like, wow, I can't believe that this has happened. So I can definitely see at this point in your life, you're either doing like witchcraft or you're praying. You've got some type of spiritual practice, whether it's literally just like scripting your manifestations or something like that. But it's like, this is a day that brings you closer to God because you realize why you had to go through all that struggle. And I think this day is going to make you very emotional because you're going to realize that like you knew the truth all along, and it's like you had to wait and wade through all that uncertainty to get there, but it was worth it and you did it. And with this Deer card, no matter what gender you are, like you're definitely going to be in your feminine practical energy that day, where, or at the very least when it comes to this situation, because the day in question is a day where something that's been a long time coming is finally resolved. And I think for a lot of you, it's something that has been holding you back from having the full new beginning that you have wanted so badly. And I think that this decision, this change is what is going to bring about like a happier family, what is going to help you stay present. It's going to bring you closer to spirit. You might find that things you see in this day are things that you visualized in meditations. And with channeling, same thing. It's like things that you channeled are going to happen. And with this patience card, it's like you're going to realize, like, you're going to be so glad you were patient, not only with yourself, but with spirit and others, because everything will happen the way that it's meant to. And with this generosity and balance, it's like, at this point, you're realizing that, like, spirit is giving you the same generosity you've given it. And this situation is balancing out in your favor. And spirit is saying, like, they're glad that you're open to receive, because the only thing you're going to be doing is receiving emotional fulfillment, wealth, happiness, love. This is an exciting day because it's a turning point in your life when you recognize that you can trust what's in your heart, and that the truth in your heart will help you overcome the most difficult situations. And I do feel like this is something that you will grieve over for a while. And this day will be so exciting, is because you will finally be able to, like, close a book on that grief. And, like, while it may still come up in certain ways, it's like you've for the majority, like, for the most part, you've healed what was in your heart that needed to be healed about this situation. And you're gonna view this day as a really happy, joyful day, and like a beautiful day for yourself that you totally were not anticipating. It's almost like this day is going to go about as normal until this justice situation happens. Something that you've been fighting balances out, and then it gives you the opportunity to breathe and to finally live again, and to not be worried about whatever this situation is. You're finally going to be like, wow, I knew this day would come, but I didn't realize it would be now. And you're going to be very, very grateful that it's now, and honestly just so relieved and ready to start anew. So this is really, really beautiful. And I think that for some of you, if this sounds like what you're going through now, this day is coming closer than you think. Just be patient. But for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, this is a while in your future. But I would save this video anyway, because who knows, maybe spirit will remind you that this video exists by the time that happens, and you'll be ready to see it, and you'll see how it resonates. But pile 4, I'm gonna leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much to everyone who watches my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. And oh, by the way, the reason I'm not doing advice in this video is because you guys don't need it. This is a day in your future. You'll get there by naturally being yourself. You don't need me. Anyway, if you would like to support me in other ways, you can subscribe, you can like this video, you can comment down below and let me know how it resonates. You can send this to other people if you're interested. But I think that's all I have. Oh yeah, you can check out my merch, my social media, stuff like that. All of that will be linked down below. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I know it was a bit different. It was definitely more experimental, so let me know what you thought of it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope, even if it didn't resonate, at the very least you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!